Hit that ball.
Randomly Radio with your host, Jen T.
Yeah, fucking Jen is a warlord.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Rambo Pro Radio. I am your host, Jen T. Twitter and Instagram at GenT523. What's good, motherfuckers? You already know what time it is. We got fights on top of fights. We got Bellator in a couple hours, so I need to bust out my picks ASAP right motherfucking now. Let's go. Here we go. And if you don't like fights, if this is the part of the show where you go, I don't like fights, then fast forward, because it's time for Bellator. I got my Bellator picks for you, and then I'll have my UFC picks for you. So let's go. Time to pick. First off, for Bellator. First off, we have Bellator. Chandler versus Henderson. And we're gonna blaze right through these picks. First off, I have the Olamami of Olamamis. Olamami. Mucho gusto. Valerie Loreda is fighting Tara Graf. Who the fuck cares about Tara Graf? Did you see Valerie on the scale? My God. God bless America. I mean, really. How does Olamami like that? How, Sway? How does this happen? She is incredibly gorgeous. And then, on top of that, she fights. This is amazing. God bless the fight gods for bringing us Valerie Loreda. Well, she's going to beat the shit out of Tara, and that is the end. I don't care if she loses or wins. We just want to see Valerie, okay? All of us, we're going to be feverishly jacking it in about 5 hours for Valerie. Valerie, why don't you come on over, Valerie? Next, I have AJ. What the fuck kind of last name? AJ Aguazarm versus Chris Lencioni. I'm going to go with the Italian dude, Chris Lencioni. Next, Adam Borix versus Mike Hamill. I only picked people on Bellator that I knew, okay? So that's why I'm not doing the first 3 fights, because I don't even know who the fuck they are. So don't be mad at me. I'm going with Adam Borix. Next, Curtis Milner. Now, normally, San Bernardino's finest. We roll with Shits Bernardino, all right? It's a shitty town, and for those of us who participate in the fight game, we have to rally around each other and support one another. But he is fighting Saba Homase, who is my brethren from the Middle East, and also trains at, I want to say he trains at American Top Team. So, holy shit, ATT destroys Shits Bernardino. You could bring everybody who trains at American Top Team across the globe, and I'm pretty sure they could wipe out the city of San Bernardino, gangs and all. Just decimate everybody. You're talking about the gym of all gyms, and Saba Homase will get it done. R.I.P. Curtis Milner. Oh man, Shits Bernardino's finest. I'm sorry. Any other time we would root for you, but this is like Yalla, Ya Habibi, Inshallah, Hamasi. We going down. We're going to we're going to Desert Storm. This is some real shit. And my man's gonna have his entire country on his back and destroy Curtis Milner. Next, Miles Fury Jury versus Georgie, oh boy, Karakhagian. Well, let's just put it this way. Mr. Georgie is Mother Russia, either Mother Russia or Armenian. I believe he is Mother Russia, and he is going to destroy Miles Fury Jury. Rest in peace, Miles. Next, I'm taking Matt Mitrione over Timothy Johnson. Meathead, you should get this done, goddammit. This is a walk in the park. And finally, Michael Chandler versus Benson Henderson. I have never been a Benson fan. Our God is an awesome God. Hey, do me a favor. Kick rocks. Jog off, Benson. I can't stand this guy. He just looks like the biggest prick. And then the best bit is, after he acts like a douchebag, he's like, and then Jesus said to the lambs, it's like, come on, man. You're bringing the Bible in it. You're a prick. Don't hide behind the Bible. Don't hide behind these fairy tales. I'm taking Michael Chandler because I just so desperately want Michael Chandler to win. Hell, it could be a bump off the street and I will bet against Benson Henderson. I can't stand him. Ugh, he's terrible. So one more time for the picks for Bellator. Valerie Loreda. Hola, mami. Mucho gusto. Next, let's see, Chris Lencioni, then Adam Borix, then Saba Homase, inshallah, and Georgie Karakarian, Matt Mitrione, Michael Chandler. Those are your Bellator picks. Have fun, bet against me, do whatever the fuck you want, I don't care. Next, we got UFC Fight Night, Louis Olienk. I am so fucking excited for UFC because it's like Bellator is like it's almost like edging. You're just like, I need me some MMA. Let me just feverishly jack off, but not totally shoot my load yet. Let me just wait. Let me just hold on. So Bellator, you're like edging. You're like, it's Friday night. Let me edge. And it's Saturday. I'm going to shoot my MMA load. Dropping loads. So we shoot our MMA load for UFC Fight Night because it's fucking awesome. Even this card, how it is better than Bellator, hands down. Even fucking last week's card where half of the card dropped out due to passing out or COVID or not making weight, still better than this Bellator card. Hello. So for Valerie Lareda. So first off, UFC Fight Night, Louis Olink. We have Peter Barrett versus Youssef Zalal. I am going to take Peter Barrett. He's 11-3. Youssef 9-2. He trains at Sityodtong, Boston, and that is some of the best Muay Thai you can get in the country. And I will not. Muay Thai is like my bread and butter. If you cut me, I bleed. Left, right, head kick. That's my shit. All right. We will never go against Muay Thai, ever. So Peter Barrett is my pick. Next, Justin James, Guitar Hero versus Gavin Tucker. You know, I'm taking Justin James because Gavin Tucker is like the Newfoundland Terror or something. 4 KOs, 5 subs, 11-1 versus Justin James, 8 KO, 5 subs, 16-4. I just feel like the volume, the chances of Gavin getting knocked out is very high because he's got double the KOs. So, and then if they go to the ground, they're equal on the ground on subs. So I just hate Justin's name, his nickname. Like, you got to have a good fight name. Like, the people were like, yo, Rambopra. Like, I got my fight name, Patty McFatty, Rambopra. But Justin James, Guitar Hero, like, man, go for yourself. That's stupid. But I'm going to take Justin James and pray he doesn't let me down. And next, Andrew Sanchez versus Wellington Turman. Wellington Turman, 6-3, 4 KOs, 7 sub, 5 decisions versus 11-5, 5 KO, 2 subs, 4 decisions. Well, Wellington is better on the ground, but I feel like because Andrew Sanchez trains at El Diablo, trains with GSP. You can't not be bad if you train with GS fucking P at TriStar. So I'm going with Andrew Sanchez. Wellington, you're going to be beef. Next, Nazareth Haprest versus Alex Munoz. Alex 6-0, Team Alpha Male, 2KO, 1 sub, and a shit ton of decisions. Nazareth Haprest, 11-3, trains with GSP as well, 9 KOs, 2 decisions. Need I say more? Nazareth for the win. Next, Kevin Holland. He was scheduled to fight last week, but Trevor Giles passed out in the back. I'm very leery of this fight. So I initially had picked Kevin Holland to upset Trevor Giles last week, but his comments that he made to Giles after he had passed out was pretty fucking tremendous. Like, just tremendously appalling. You cannot tell somebody who's about ready to walk out to the fight that you pretended to pass out so that you didn't want to fight, like you're backing out of a fight. Like you held your breath to pass out. That's what he told UFC Press once his fight was canceled. It's like, bro, are you retarded?
What, are you retarded?
Kevin, you couldn't even hold your breath long enough to pass out. If you tried, your brain would be like, yo, you're holding your breath to pass out. You're gonna take a breath. Show me medical evidence. Show me the science of people holding their breath till they pass out. That is stupid. Now, have I seen people choke themselves till they pass out? Yeah, I've seen that. But to actually hold their breath till they pass out so they can get out of a fight, bruh, back to the drawing board on that one because you're stupid for that. So he's 7-5, AKO, 6 subs, 3 decisions versus Joachim Buckley. I so desperately wish Joachim puts the ass whooping of a lifetime on Kevin Holland, even though I'm going to bet Kevin Holland because I just feel like he's going to be fully prepared. God, that's such a shitty thing to say to somebody. Of course Trevor wanted to fight. I don't even fucking know Trevor, and I'm telling you right now, he wanted to fight. He ain't trying to pass out on purpose. What kind of bullshit is that? He's getting ready to walk out. I mean, it was like the fight before his, and then they stopped it. They called it, and they said he was medically unfit to continue. Shit, nerves get to you. I've had a few fights myself. I've done some crazy things. Nerves will get to you. But to make yourself pass out? Bruh, nah. So I'm low-key hoping that Kevin gets his ass beat, but I'm going to pick him to win the fight. I'm crazy, I know. Tim Means versus Lorenzo Stapoli. Give him the beef stromboli. Lorenzo is 9-2, 5 KOs, 2 subs, 2 decisions. Tim Means 19 KOs, 5 subs, 5 decisions, 29-12. I feel like this has been a long journey for Tim Means, and this up-and-coming kid is going to be ready to scrap. And even though Tim Means has the experience, I don't feel like the firepower is there for Tim Means. It's been a long road, been a long journey. He's been at this since 2014 in the UFC. And I commend him for that, but I feel like tomorrow will not be his day. So maybe some other time. But he also does have sick Muay Thai. And I did say we wouldn't bet against Muay Thai, but I just feel like this strapping young man, Lorenzo Stapoli, is going to just put the beef stromboli on this kid. Next, Benil Dariush versus Scott Hot Sauce Holtzman. Holtzman, 14-3, 5 KOs, 2 subs, 7 decisions. I normally will root for Hot Sauce any day of the week, except for the fact that that last fight with Benil Dariush, that massive KO, this man is a goddamn monster. 18-4, 4 KOs, 8 subs, 6 decisions. Whew. If he stands with you, he's going to knock you out. If you go to the ground with him, he's going to submit you. I mean, Hot Sauce, he is very good, but he has a problem with pacing. He starts to fade into the second and third round. He'll put up a good first round, maybe even sometimes a second, but then the third, he's trashed. So I'm taking Benil. Benil is a slow and steady kind of warm-up, but once he gets going, he's just like a fucking train. Unstoppable, unmovable object. Benil Dariush. Next, Julia Stoliarenko versus Yana Kunitskaya. Kunitskaya, 18-8, 7 KO, 1 sub. Yulia, 9-3/8 sub, 1 decision. Kunitskaya, I have never been impressed with this bitch. I feel like almost anybody could beat this bitch. Like if she were to come into Ellis Mania, I feel like any female fan could whoop this bitch's ass. And somehow she has a UFC contract because she's tall and she's Russian. So don't ask. Uncle Dana, Putin, you're welcome. Okay, enough said. So I'm taking Yulia Stulyanko. Next, I've got Darren Stewart versus Maki Pitolo. I'm taking Darren Stewart, 11-5, 7 KOs for decision versus Maki. Coconut Bombs, 7 KO, 3 subs, 3 decisions, 13-5. Maki should get this done on paper because he's a white hilo boy. They are tough. They bring the thunder. But Darren Stewart has been on a quest since he got the boot from UFC, went down to Cage Warriors, and now is back up. I just feel like English boxing is more superior than Hawaiian boxing. So that, but Hawaiians are durable. So who knows? But I'm going to go with Darren Stewart on this. Amari Akhmedov versus Chris Weidman. Well, I don't even want to go through the numbers. Amari trains at ATT, which is the greatest gym in the world. And then, he is from Dagestan. He is Khabubi's neighbor. He is number 1 neighbor, okay? I will not bet against Mother Russia. You understand? So I'm going with Amari Akhmedov. Chris Weidman, Captain America, Captain Marvel, whoever the fuck you call yourself. It has been fun. It has been real. Man, if you get this done, God bless you, because you so desperately need a win, but I can't see this happening. I can't. I feel like Akhmedov, his wrestling is far more superior. He might be a wee bit shorter, but he's going to be that much stronger. His base is going to be more solid. Solid! Solid as a rock. Okay, and finally, Derek Lewis versus Alexei Oleinik. Derek Lewis I love Black Beast, okay? At Black Beast IG. He's pretty fucking funny. I don't particularly care for his fighting style. He has a tremendous amount of power, but he does not do things with it. It just depends on how his back is feeling. He'll throw some kicks. He's got great kicks. Hardly throws them because his back. And you know why he can't throw good kicks? Because his back hurts. Because he's too heavy. If that man lost 60 pounds, how much of a badass would Derek Lewis be? He would destroy DC. He would not DC back to DC. That's how hard Derek Lewis hits. And yet, he is just obsessed with junk food. I get it, I understand. But he could be just a little bit more faster, a little bit more quicker, even if he dropped 40 pounds. I know I need to drop 40 pounds. Maybe even more. No, it's more. I need to drop like 50 fucking pounds. Goddamn quarantine. But I feel like once I drop those 50 pounds, I'll just be that much quicker. And if I am quicker, I can generate more power. So back to Derek Lewis. He has the power, but I feel like Alexei Oleinik, with some 70 plus fights of experience, he's not going to stay there. His movement is better than Derek Lewis, and he is going to trip Derek Lewis up, and Ezekiel choked him. You're welcome. So your UFC picks are Peter Barrett, Justin James, Guitar Hero, Andrew Sanchez, Nazareth Haprist, Kevin Holland, even though we want him to lose, Lorenzo Strapoli, Beef Stromboli, Benil Dariush, Julia Stolayenko, Darren Stewart, Amari Akhmedov, and Alexei Oleinik. Those are your UFC picks. It's time for Customers of the Week. I had a real winner this week. As some of y'all know, may or may not know, due to the Rona, due to these current times, I have been gratefully blessed and cursed at the same time with curbside orders. So I bring people their orders, they order online, I bring them to their car. So this lady, we'll just go ahead and call her Terry. We're not going to lose her last name because I don't want to get sued or whatever. But Terry, God bless Terry. She, even though she don't believe in God, but we'll get to that in a minute. Terry had placed an order, so I brought it out to her car. So in order for me to put your groceries in your car, you need to either open your trunk or open the door. I can't leave them on the outside of your car. I can't leave them on the ground next to your car. I can't leave them on top of your car. I'm going to need you to roll down a window, open a door, or open the trunk or boot of your vehicle. My girl Terry is so afraid of the Rona that she wouldn't even roll down the window for me to confirm that the order was hers. Hello, ma'am. Did you have a curbside? Terry, right? What? Ma'am, I can't hear you. Can you roll down your window? Okay. Let me try and read your lips. Are you Terry? This order is for Terry. Are you Terry? You want me to do what? Oh, put it in the back seat. Okay. Okay, Terry. Okay, hello. How are you? Here are your groceries. Was there anything out of stock? I wanted to get some wheat germ. I'm like, oh, okay. Damn. Terry, you sound familiar. Have you heard of a character on Stern Show called Underdog Lady? Why, yes. Underdog Lady is my sister. Yeah, because you sound a fucking like. This bitch sounded like Underdog Lady. I was like, oh no. And then I'm talking to her. I'm starting to scan like the rest of my vision and to see that Terry not only had a mask on, goggles on, a face shield over that, gloves on, and then had plastic going over the gloves, over the arms. I'm just so scared. I'm just so scared of this Rona. I don't want to come in the store. I didn't get the wheat germ on my orders. Is there a way that you can go in and buy it and bring it to me? He said, no, ma'am. You gotta place another order online, and then I can bring it out to you. I don't have the ability to take charges. The sale's already done. It's finalized. Gotta start all over again. Oh, I'm just in a panic. This coronavirus, this corona. I just tell you, you know about the plague, right? You know about the plague. And I was like, huh? Yes, the plague, the coronavirus. This is just like what they talked about in the Bible. And this is the end of days. And there will be a plague of sickness and illness. And I was like, okay, Underdog Lady, the phone's ringing. I got customers. Have a nice day. I gotta go. And let me tell you, when I opened this bitch's car, it smelled like piss. Like somebody had fucking died in there. And I was like, oh, shit.
What the hell is going on here?
I was like John Witherspoon. What the hell going on here? Oh man. She's like, yeah, it's the plague. It's the plague, the coronavirus. It's the end of days. And the Bible said, just like when the birds started to fly everywhere and the locusts, the coronavirus is part of the plague. There will be feast, famine, sickness, illness. And I was like, okay, ma'am, well, you have a nice day. Well, do you believe? Do you believe? And I was like, well, ma'am, I'm not really sure right now what you're asking me because I got the phone's ringing because I have to keep the sales phone with me because people have corrections with their order or they got questions about their order. I need to be able to answer it right away because let me tell you, these motherfuckers who do curbside, if I don't answer the phone straight away, they call and complain to my boss. So I don't want to get in trouble. So I'm like, ma'am, I gotta go. The phone's ringing here. So you have a blessed day. She's like, no, wait, listen. This coronavirus is like the plagues with the feasts and the famine and the locusts and the birds and the babies dying, people dying, and the blood on the doorpost. This is just like what Moses had to do with the blood at the doorpost in Egypt, and they killed all the babies. Listen, do you know about the Lord Jesus Christ? I was like, I'm familiar with him. You know, I once wore a shirt. Jesus is my homeboy. Listen, I want you to do me a favor. There's something that you can do to help with this pandemic. You can go to jw.org. Do you know what Jehovah's Witnesses are? And as soon as she said jw.org and asked me what Jehovah's Witnesses were, I started to feel the darkness come within me. If you didn't listen to the Jason Ellis podcast, I talked about the darkness within me. And it's not pretty. I started to feel my soul leave my body. I was like, bitch, you motherfucking Jehovah's Witness fellers almost killed my grandpa when he passed out. And I've told this story before on here, but if you're new to Rambo Pro Radio, I'll have to tell it again briefly. But basically, a couple years before my grandpa became ill and passed away, he had passed out working in his little tool shed, and the gardener found him. Well, turns out the gardener was a Jehovah's Witness, and the doctors, you know, no family was around. Mom's was at work. Grandma was busy doing something or out of town. Nobody was fucking around. So the gardener had to take my grandpa to the hospital until we all could get there, right? But this motherfucker told the hospital that my grandpa was a Jehovah's Witness and he would not be taking any blood transfusion. And the doctor told him, which I don't know why he's sharing this fucking information with a non-family member, but he did. He said he is going to die if he doesn't get a blood transfusion very soon. My grandpa's blood levels were so low, he was dying. And the gardener was like, yes, he's a Jehovah's Witness. We don't do blood transfusion. Well, jog off. Let a family take care of it, you prick. So anyway, my mom got to the hospital, told the gardener to fuck off, and we got him some blood. But anytime I hear the jw.org or Jehovah's Witness, I immediately feel the darkness from within start to slowly creep up me feet and come up me panza, me big belly, and creep into my dark heart and make me think murderous things about you, because you fuckers and your stupid religious beliefs, your made up shit almost killed my grandpa. How many other Jehovah's Witnesses have almost died? Oh yeah, Prince. My man's was refusing to get surgery for his hip because he couldn't get a blood transfusion because he was a Jehovah's Witness. So he just took a bunch of pills and fucking died. Ain't that some shit? Over religion? Come on. Get a grip. It's crazy. So anyway, yes, you go to jw.org, and I am Jehovah's Witness, and this is the prophecy. And when you go to this website, you can learn how you can stop this pandemic. You can find out how you can help us. I'm like, bitch, I ain't trying to help y'all, okay? Get the fuck out of here. I was like, well, you have a nice day, ma'am. Goodbye. Bye-bye. I was like, oh my God. God, get the fuck away from me. And then on a heavier note, I had one curbside customer come to me who had accused me of not fulfilling her order correctly and tried to get me in trouble with my boss. And that did not work. And so she came to the store because, first and foremost, the bitch is not even allowed to shop inside of my work because she's been caught stealing. How is she allowed to even do online orderings if she's not even allowed to be in the store? Beyond me. Anyhow. So they allow her to do online ordering. Okay. I didn't know who this lady was, but I may or may not have talked about it on here. I was very, very, very upset about it. I might not have said anything on here, but her 4-year-old son was running around the store. Now, let me just get this out of the way. This bitch is a lesbian. She's one of these Mike Dykes like me. But, you know, this is the part where they get the bad rap, is where you're just a nasty, bad mom lesbian and you're up to some fuck shit and it's not cool. And for example, her child, one of them, is maybe 4 or 5 years old. Okay. She's shopping in the store, wandering around, not watching him, letting him run around, break things, scream, cause all kinds of a scene. And finally, when she was ready to go, because she treats shopping like a daycare center, she just lets her child run around a 45,000 square foot building with no vision of sight of her child. Just lets him run. And then when she's ready to leave, she will yoke him up by his neck and throw him back in the cart. So I had not seen this person before. Her child is beautiful. Amazing little boy. He is a brat. Now, he is bratty running around the store because his mom is busy stealing. So it makes sense why there is some child behavioral issues, because his mother is not paying attention to him to the point where he is acting out, screaming in the store, breaking things, the whole nine at 5 years old. So when she was ready to leave a couple weeks ago, she found him. And let me tell you, while he was running around the store, quick little sidebar, while he was running around the store, I could see the sense of panic. I felt panic inside of him. And he was like wandering around, and I was like, hey, little dude, are you looking for your mom? Are you lost? And then he wanted to play. And we were doing a little hide and seek, a little peekaboo. We were having fun. And then when he ran away from me, because I had to get back to my work because I'm timed, because people have appointments. When he ran to the front of the store, this bitch-ass mom of his was ready to go. He dodged her and kept running. So when she finally ran up to him and caught him, she picked him up and put him in a rear naked choke. He's 5, okay? Put him in a rear naked choke and then proceeded to twist his ear so hard that I thought she was going to pull it off. And he was screaming. The scream that came out of this child was excruciating pain. So she's got him dangling by his feet, holding him up by his neck like a rear naked UFC choke, okay? And then while she's holding him up with his neck, she's twisting his ear. And I'm like, you rat motherfucker. How about, you want somebody to do that to you? Would you like that, bitch? I don't think so. I would be gladly to demonstrate what you are doing to your child is not only not effective, but you're teaching him, you're not protecting your child. You're teaching him some fucked up shit. That kid's going to be hella fucked up when he grows up if she don't kill him. And everybody in the store, everybody stopped. Nobody said a fucking word to her, but everybody just stopped and stared at her like, lady, what the fuck is the matter with you? And my boss was like, oh, you will know, you do not need to do that with a kid, okay? Maybe you need to calm it down. And she goes, oh, well, we're leaving now. I just can't control them. We're leaving now. I want to leave. Okay, well, bye-bye, bitch. Leave the kid. You go. Don't come back. I'm sure any stranger in this fucking store will do a better job raising your child than you are. So I had to bring out her stuff to her, and then she right away was like lying on my name. Didn't even know that who she was talking to was the person that pulls her stuff. So she's like, yeah, I asked for this, I didn't get it, and I did whoop the fucking whoop. And I was like, bitch, not only did I put it in your bag, we took pictures. We took pictures of your stuff, bitch, because we know you're a lying ass bitch. So I had to go have my boss come out with me because I didn't know how I could control the urge to not take her child out of the car seat and beat the shit out of her and then call the police on myself, maybe. So I brought my boss out and I was just like, look, whatever is wrong, I can't do anything. I just put the stuff together. You got to talk to him. Okay. So everything is like a fucking back and forth with her. And then finally she leaves and I'm just like, ugh, what a vile fucking human being. I hope your Jeep explodes and I hope your kids aren't in the car. I hope the Jeep explodes with her in it. She's just the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen in person. And I so desperately wish, because it's not up to me, it's up to karma, if you will. how does that work? Karma. I'm not in charge. God damn it. And there's probably a good reason for that. But God damn it. I just was like, man, karma's going to take care of this lady. Maybe her son will grow up and stab her. I don't know. Something bad's going to happen to this lady, and something bad's going to happen to her kid if somebody doesn't step in and do it, or therapy, or some kind of weird, something needs to happen. Something bad is happening. Is going to happen with those two and her kids. So, and I got vindication just to see who this bitch was that was lying on me. And now I know. I sized her up. I see that she's driving this bougie ass Jeep, and she's a nasty woman. And specifically a see you next Tuesday, but that's neither here nor there. And now I know what she looks like. So if there is ever a time where she spracks off and I'm not at work. Oh, Lord Jesus. Say a prayer. Say a prayer. And if you don't believe in prayer, you send me a virtual fucking hug right now, because I'm going to beat this lady's ass. Oh. So I touched on it briefly earlier that I did the Jason podcast, and I did the Jason podcast with Jason Ellis. And if you don't know who that is, if you just listen to this show, which I would find that hard to believe that you would listen to this show and not that show, Jason Ellis, pro skateboarder, Sirius XM, Jason Ellis show. You're welcome. That was an experience, to say the least, because I was balls deep in watching Gangs of London. Sidebar. I was watching one of the greatest shows I've seen in a minute, Gangs of London. And there's just a bunch of explosions going on. People getting shot. People getting tortured for secrets, like some real military shit going on, and things blowing up. Then I get an email. It says, hey, can you be on the show right now? I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. And I immediately was running back and forth between my the Rambo Radio studios and my bedroom, getting ready and getting my phone, make sure my phone's charged up, praying to God, Buddha, Satan, Zeus, whoever would listen, that my mother would not call, because y'all know she calls 8 times a day, and that my dogs wouldn't bark. And we made it. I specifically want to send a shout out to everyone who reached out to me after the show had aired and sent me their love, support, positive vibes, good energy, because I did mention I was not in a good space at the time, and I kind of just went into my history of how I came into Ellis Fam in a way. I mean, it's been a long journey. Some of y'all know that who have been listening since day one, know that, Ellis was a poster on my wall. I was 15 years old and Ellis was a poster on my wall. So this has been a long journey. This is before the radio show. I'm into skateboarding, so I know Ellis from skateboarding. And I never thought in my 15-year-old mannish brain that one of my skate heroes would be calling my phone and interviewing me. That thought never crossed my mind. I, in a state of shock that he even knows who I am. And, all of those things flooded into me. But at the same time, because I had been watching this Gangs of London and all of these explosions and twists and turns in the plot, my adrenals were shot. So when I got the phone call, it was just like a casual conversation. So everything worked out. I had a great time. And I could say that, I would maybe tell myself to call into the show more often. I just don't like to fuck up the show chi. You know what I mean? I just feel like there's a rhythm to the actual Jason Ellis show. So it's like if I call all the time, it kind of takes away from it. Like Bobo on Stern Show, that guy calls 24/7, or Marianne from Brooklyn. You got to lay in the cut and pick your shots. That's how I like that. But I tend to sometimes maybe lay in the cut too long and maybe not take as many shots as I should. So I had a great time. I enjoyed it. And if it is that easy all the time to just call the Jason podcast or call the Jason Ellis show, then I will get in the habit of doing that. We'll see how that goes. A lot of times the show is on. I'm at work and I'm in a space where I just don't want to talk. I just want to hear somebody else talking for a change. So we'll see how that goes. But I had a great time. The show is awesome. And if you haven't done so, please check out the Jason podcast. There is a new episode, of course, this week. It is not me, but maybe check out last week, because last week was me. But if you are a listener of my show, I don't know if there's a whole lot of new information, but there might be a few bits and pieces that might be new to you. But other than that, I kindly encourage you to go listen to the Jason podcast. And I'm sure if you don't already, the Jason Ellis show as well, you're in for a fucking treat. Because of the Jason podcast, I had a lot of followers come through on the Instagram. And usually on the weekends, my page is public. And I posted a story about 6 Polish towns that had declared themselves LGBT free. Now, this is very disheartening because I am a mannish lady. I am a gay lady. And so to hear that there's a place in the world that has been declared a gay-free zone is very troublesome and sounds hateful. So the European Union that sends funding to Poland has decided that they will withdraw these funds to those particular towns until they end this LGBT-free zones, because they feel that it's hateful. And I would have to agree. Now, I understand that people have rights. They are free to believe what they want to believe. But I want to encourage you that if you listen to my show and you don't like gay people, then this is definitely not the show for you. I is hella gay. I talked about Ola Mommies on here. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but maybe I have. Yes, I did talk about it. It's coming to my brain now. I fingered some chick on Hollywood Boulevard while she was vomiting. I mean, listen, I love vagina. Even while they're barfing. So if you are bothered that I am a lady, a mannish lady who likes women, then this is not only not the show for you. You should go another direction. You can go your own way. Go your own way. You should go another way, because coming to my page and being hateful about it proves nothing. Absolutely nothing. So why I'm saying this is that I had a guy, some Momo on the internet, and that's how the story always starts, blocked me first. I don't know who the fucking guy is. I don't think he was following me. I don't think he was Ellis fan. I hope not. But he just happened to come in while everyone was in the Follow Me Friday thing, whatever, Saturday thing. And he says, you know, this is the kind of bullshit you LGBT RSVQ people push on people. And these Polish towns should have the right to have an LGBT free zone. And I was like, the fuck, bitch? You come on my page. I am a gay ass lady. What the fuck do you think's gonna happen? You think I'm just gonna agree with you? How do you think this is gonna end, sir? How? Other than me blocking your bitch ass. So I read the comment and he's like, they should have the right to do this. And in my mind, I'm like, of course, you have the right to not like gay people. That's not what we're saying. But what you don't have the right to is go out of your way to exclude them. That is wrong. And that is what that article I posted was about. That is wrong. Just like the fellers who didn't want to make the gay people the cake. Listen, they're a religious bakery. Hey, gay people, don't go to a religious bakery and ask them to make you a cake. They have the religious right not to make you a cake. The end. If it were me, I would not go to a religious bakery and have a cake made. The end. I'm going to go to a pro-gay bakery. Okay? These Polish towns, this is a town that's open to people, and it should be open to gay, straight, trans, questioning, bisexual, asexual, black, white, Puerto Rican, Haitian, don't fucking matter. To go out of your way and declare this is a no zone. If you participate in these things, you can't be here. That's wrong. That's fucking wrong. And I'm not going to fucking stand for it. And I posted that. And then my man's coming up in my mention like, fuck you, you and your LGBTQ. And I was like, you know what? I was actually going to try and reason with this person. But then when I went to his page and saw that not only that he had blocked me before he made that stupid ass comment on my page, I was like, oh, well, we can't even have a discussion. You're already hiding. And if you're hiding, you already know what you said is wrong. And I just went delete, block, delete, block, delete. I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to put up with that shit. It's like, you don't like gay people? Good for fucking you. Stay over there and let the rest of the people who like gay people and us gay people hang out and have a good time. We don't need your hater ass, all right? You stay over in the haterville and the rest of us will go do our thing. So I agree with people that I respect your right to not like something, but I do not respect you to then go out of your way to then exclude someone. That is incorrect. I'm not going to put up with that. I saw a quote from my friend who has a life coaching business. She put on her page, and I thought was really fascinating, was the key to being happy is knowing that you have the power to choose what to accept and what to let go. And this quote couldn't have come at a better time. I've reached a precipice with the dating apps. At one point I had 12. Now I'm down to 6. And I didn't say it on here because I fucking didn't want to jinx it. But I had been talking to a woman for 2 weeks. And everything seemed to be going good. And then when she asked how long I had been on the dating apps, I gave her the truth. I'm not a liar. I don't like to lie. I'm just going to tell you the truth because let's just have all the cards out on the table. What's the point of lying? If you lie about this, then you lie about something else, right? So I'm just a believer of telling the truth, even if it is painful. You think I want to say that you think I want to admit that I've been on a dating app for 7 fucking years? No, it doesn't look good. I get it. But it's extremely difficult as a gay lady to find somebody. My options are extremely limited. So the fact that every time a chick that's into me asks me how long I've been on the dating app and I tell them 7 years, they go, what? The fuck, bitch? Or they don't say anything at all. So it either looks like I'm a commitment-phobe or I'm a womanizer, or it's what I thought it would look like. The view would be like, oh, like she's really trying to find the right one. And it ain't gonna fucking happen overnight. It takes time. But 7 fucking years? Fuck. I'm right there with you. I would love to get off these fucking things. They're terrible. But where am I supposed to go? How am I supposed to meet somebody? Can't meet somebody at work. I work in a conservative Christian town. I don't like to date coworkers. What else? There's only 16 gay bars left in the country. 2 of them are in California. One of them is a 6-hour car ride away. The other one is a 2-hour car ride away. Right now, bars are closed. You're not allowed to go out dancing. Thanks a lot, Uncle Gavin. Fuck you too. My options, the only thing I have now is online. The only thing. And I was really excited about having the promise of this going somewhere and then once again having the rug pulled out from under me. It instantly gave me a headache Wednesday night into Thursday, and I decided to early Thursday morning put up a poll. It's been 7 years. Absolutely dog piss willy. Should I retire from dating apps? And the survey said 53% of you, the dear listeners of Rambo Radio and then some, voted yes that I should get off dating apps. 47% of you said no. It was not even close at the beginning. When I woke up shortly thereafter I had posted it, it was like 68%. It was bad. So then I went and posted on my page, hey, can everyone kind of just vote, please, for me for the sake of this, because I need show material. Hello. And also, my life is in the balance here. Like, I'm just at a wit's end. I feel like the 7 years that I've been on dating apps, I could have fucking cured cancer. I could have built a time machine and traveled into time and killed the guy who invented the coronavirus. There are so many things that I could have fucking did and been good at. I could have had abs by now. The amount of time I spent on this app with nothing to show began to infuriate me. And so I instantly just had a headache for all of Wednesday night and into Thursday afternoon. And I was just like, you know what? If it's just causing this much disruption into my energy that it's causing me to have a headache, it's time. It's over, Johnny. It's over. And so now, because some of you have mentioned, well, how are you supposed to meet somebody? The bars are closed. This is your only option. I get it. So what I've decided to do is, rather than delete them and go cold turkey, I have just decided that I am not going to surf on there for people. I am just going to respond to messages. That's it. So if you are listening to my show and you like me, then you should send me a message, because I am not going on there otherwise. You hear me? I am tired. I am tired of doing the chasing. I am tired. As a mannish lady in the gay community, I understand it is my job, my duty, my call of duty to chase women that I want. But I have reached a point to where now I'm like, you know what? I'm done doing the chasing. If you want me, then you can chase, okay? You can come and find me and send me a message. If you like me, send me a message. I'm just not about playing these games anymore. I'm done with it. I'm just like, if you can't accept my honesty, if you don't like something about me, if you think I'm a weirdo, then cool. I'm not right for you. I'll be right for somebody else, but not for you. And that's what it is. I am going to accept this and move the fuck on with my life, because I just feel like that energy, even though it's okay. So I mentioned to Erica, because we went on a lovely hike moments ago. I had an amazing time. I mentioned to her that I would time myself. I would spend 10 minutes on each app. So if there is 6 apps that I'm on and I spend 10 minutes, that's an hour. That's an hour in the morning and an hour at night. That's 2 fucking hours, too goddamn long. Nothing to show for it. Nothing. When bars were open, when I went to the gay lady night at the bar, I had the best time. I had women hit on me. It was great. I didn't have to chase anybody. Women came to me. I liked that. I don't mind chasing women if there is going to be a payoff at the end. If I am just going to be set into chase mode and there's no intention of anything happening whatsoever, then what the fuck are we doing? Why are we wasting each other's time? Don't tell me you like me but don't have time. Don't tell me that you like me but you're weird about, you feel upset that I've spent so long on a dating app. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Do you want me to just hang around? Do you want me to just grab the next person I see that's a lady that shows interest in me? No, that's not how this works. I have a type. And then people go, oh, you're picky. Oh, you're picky. I'm like, you're goddamn right I have to be picky. Otherwise, I would be after all my gay lady friends, and I don't really have a whole lot of gay lady friends. So it's like, yes, of course I have to be particular. Zara talked about this, and I mentioned it on my show before. Zara Berry, who works for Go Magazine, who writes different stories for Go Magazine, she talked about this. Of course, lesbians are picky, because otherwise we would be dating all of our friends if we weren't picky. Okay? So I have a type. And until that type reaches out to me, per se, at least on the internet, I am not bestowing the effort. Now, if it's outside, sweet. But the chances of that, slim to none. Okay. No Dinah Shore this year. So I didn't even get a chance to get turned down in person. There's no Dinah Shore. So thousands of gay ladies and no men is almost a guarantee to get some. And still I would go to these things and was a fucking pariah. Now, did I make some awesome friends? I did. Do they live around here? They don't. This is just painful. This happens a lot to me. So I've reached the threshold, maximum capacity, and I just made the executive decision that I'm not going to go surf on there, because that's what I was doing. Endless surfing, endless, mindless conversations that go nowhere. So if you are ready, if you are a gay lady listening to the show and you are ready, then you can send me a message and we can go for there. I even say that on my page. I said, look, I'm not going to play games. If you like me, I like you. If you like me, send me a message. If I like you, I'll send you a message back. This is easy. Don't make it more than what it is. Okay? This is crazy. I'm going to leave you with a little tidbit from the Aubrey Marcus podcast, number 267, and talking about chasing horizons, which is my dating life to a T. Chasing horizons. I've talked about it a couple weeks ago, how I was just feeling like I just had this potential I wasn't living up to. And the reason why I'm not living up to this very potential is because I am so busy in the judgment of myself that I don't even have the energy to devote the time to live up to this potential. And I found that fascinating. It's the same thing for Aubrey Marcus. He always thinks he has to do more for the world. And what this guy Chris was telling him was that, listen, the world doesn't need you to do anything else for it. The world needs more people that are in a space of love and peace, that you embody love and peace and self-acceptance. These things just resonated with me. Focusing on my potential and the lack thereof is really drawing energy away from my ability to focus on my potential. And a lot of times, like, when I get burnt out, I feel like I'm not doing enough. And how we can recognize that, or I can recognize that, how I speak to myself, what is abusive language, and recognizing when I am abusive and I need to put a stop to that. And my hope for you today is that listening to this clip, maybe it resonates with you, maybe it doesn't, that you pull out the ability to make change within yourself. Get out of the state of stagnation, and remove yourself of judgment, because it's abusive dialogue towards yourself. Anytime you feel bad or you want to say something bad about yourself, stop for a moment and write down some things that you're good at. This is a good example because I do this all the time. Oh, I have to exercise because I need abs, because I can get a good girlfriend if I have abs. And what I should actually be doing is, hey, you should exercise because you feel good. And it's a good way to stay healthy. Retraining your brain to have healthier conversations with itself. To me, and this is what people say to me, that I'm a loving person, I'm nice, I'm kind, and I'm like, yeah, I am. And then when I'm home alone, I'm like, you're a piece of shit. This is what you get. Whoop-de-fucking whoop. This is why this is happening to you, because you're a bad person. Learn that you don't have to do something. You really don't have to do something. Obviously, you got bills, but we're just talking about if in your space, if it feels right with you that you should do it because you would like to do it, you love to do it. It shouldn't be because you have to, or it shouldn't be because so-and-so said this. It should be something you want to do. I love to exercise. But my initial intention behind exercise was because I wanted a job. I wanted to be a personal trainer. I want to have the best body so that way people will want to get training from me. And that necessarily might not be the case. There might be a threshold where I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to lose these 40, 50 pounds, right? It's still not as thin as I wanted it to be, but I could still get some clients if I lost 40 pounds. Hell, I've had people tell me now that they would want to work out with me, and I'm like, if you want, but I'm just like, hey, look, it's a Patty McFatty. What the fuck do I know? But I do know exercise. I do know how to make people strong. I know that if I play into the things that I'm good at, then that potential can be unlocked. But in order to unlock that potential, I need to cool it on the self-judgment and turn up the self-acceptance button. Please like, share, and subscribe to Rambo Per Radio, RamboPerRadio.com. And remember, the show is for true sayers and lie slayers. The world does not need you to do more things for it. The world is craving a human that embodies the essence of love, peace, and self-acceptance. This is Rambo Per Radio, and I'm out.
Duality, and there is this battle. The defiance, the anger, which is a reaction to the oppression. So you have learned oppression. You've learned self-judgment. It is part of your conversation. And these, to me, are the real insidious killers of any human being. It is in that world of should, have to, need, must. Like, those words are the biggest killers over time to any human being. Why I assert, as a human species, we're exhausted. People's adrenals are shot. People are unfulfilled in their marriages, in their relationships, in their workplace, because they're under constant ideation of pressure. I have to, I should. So can you locate in you, in your dialogue, any of that oppressive language?
Of course. And what comes to mind is, and I want to get this out because I think it's really important, I have a deep attachment to an identity as someone who is, as my spiritual mentor Don Howard said, para el bien de todos, dedicated for the good of all. And that has an external validation signature of that I'm actually creating in my own mind of what that looks like.
Yes. Based
on my own, because I know I had a head start. You can call that privilege. That's the word that's being used right now. And I think that really should be looked at as like an N equals 1, but I can acknowledge it in myself. Fuck yeah, I was privileged. I had all of the resources, all of the abilities, and I've always felt that. And so I think to kind of justify like everything that I've been given, which has been enormous, I've said, all right, well, I have to accomplish something really great. And that really great has some external marker that I've made up in my mind that's always elusive. No matter what I accomplish, it's always a little bit farther and it's a little bit farther and I'm never quite there and I'm never quite doing enough. And I'm constantly judging myself and which is actually limiting me from doing the very best that I fucking can. I'm like
100%.
I'm just constantly dampening myself because I'm saying that I'm not doing enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not helping enough, I'm not reaching my potential. And that's actually the thing that's limiting me from reaching my potential.
Amazing. It's what I call chasing horizons. Right? You can never get there. So beautifully articulated. And if you listen to the language, you say, I have to, whether it is, transform the planet and make a difference, and especially with the backdrop of this privileged lifestyle. I've worked with a lot of people who did have beautiful, resourceful, like full FULL lives, who then feel the sort of the weight and the burden of like, wow, I better make sure that I do something with my life because otherwise, I really effed up. Right?
Right.
But that language, feel into it, and I'm using this word very, with conscious choice, it's abusive.
Agreed.
Now, why I use it is because you look at the abhorrent behaviors that are happening out there that are abusive, disgusting, as an extension of the essence of the energy that is prevalent and present within every human being. So what is the opportunity for real healing? It is to recognize, to expose, to bring awareness, phase 1, to where am I abusive? Where do I carry the energy of abuse within myself? Where do I carry the energy of oppression, of judgment within myself? To which I am naturally going to have what we see on the other side, the defiance, the depression, because that interchange is heavy. It creates weight. When I help people with procrastination, this is the dynamic we're talking about. Why am I not realizing my potential? because you're in conflict with the judgment of yourself and then the apathetic response of defiance. Either you go angry or you go withdrawn. Right? Fight, flight, or freeze. Think about it, right? Fight, anger, flight, run away, fucking ignore it, skip town, I'm not going to deal with it. Freeze, complete apathy and procrastination. You tend to probably be more in the fight bracket just because of your constitution, but it's still a byproduct of the oppression, the dialogue, the narrative that you have, which is self-inflicting. And it's not your fault. It's a mechanistic approach. It's human, which is to say that there is something fundamentally wrong with who you are and what you're doing. So now we can start to get to where you were getting to. But first, I just want you to presence that because it's very real for you, right?
Yeah.
And there's massive cost, not only in terms of, as you said, your capacity to make a difference, which we highlighted last time beautifully. What's really hit a nerve for you is that you genuinely care about people and you really want to make a difference. But in the space of the construct that you're always letting people down, that is completely thwarted.
Yeah.
Right? At best, you're maybe improving people. But because you really want to make a difference, but you're too busy beating the shit out of yourself. And again, I'm using a broad stroke. You're not doing it every day. But that energy is still present within you. Your ability to truly impact change is completely compromised because you're too busy being right about the fact that you're not doing enough.
Yeah. Yep.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, it is.
Have another drink or take another pill or, right? Yeah. So now this is so beautiful because I guarantee there's not one person out there by virtue of the fact that they're human who can't relate to this mechanism within themselves to whatever degree, to the heights of insanity where they're really taking that and superimposing on others and abusing others, or to the fact that they're just a recluse who is just living in a complete state of stagnation because they're too scared to get out there because they're just a failure and what's the point? They've completely resigned themselves to the fact that they've got nothing to offer because they've got a dialogue about themselves, which itself is completely judgmental and abusive.
Yeah.
But it's a conversation. And the one thing I know for sure is everybody can transcend a conversation. So is it true, Aubrey, that there is anything that you should do? Yes or no?
I know the right answer. The right answer is no. The right answer is no.
Right. Thank you.
It's a hard answer for me to give.
It's a hard answer for the part of you that is habitually conditioned to believe that you should be.
Agreed.
It's not for you. For you, it is a liberating answer. For the real you beneath the surface of the narrative that you've inherited, reinforced over time for 3-4 decades, it is a conflict to what you currently believe. It is nonetheless the truth of what is on the other side of the construct you've been stuck within, for which reason it's emancipation.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Beautiful. So now stick with me. In the absence of the belief that there's anything that you should do, feel into the energy of it. In the absence of the belief there's anything you have to do, what becomes available in the way that you feel, we got a glimpse, and what becomes available for you and what becomes possible.
The feeling it's a feeling of effervescence where the other was damp and heavy. This is like bubbles in a champagne glass. It's like rising without any effort at all. Yeah. And from that, I can also feel the magic of my brain coming alive and the magic of creativity and all of these different things that are associated with that kind of energy, that freedom, that liberation from this heaviness is now all available because I'm excited, I'm inspired, I'm fired up. And it's just... it's really remarkable, and I think what you were saying is so important. It's really remarkable how we're attached to certain aspects of ourselves that we want to prove as correct that are not serving us.
Yeah, not at all. It's quite the antithesis. So this is beautiful. You're such a joy to be with. You're such a great listener, apart from the fact you didn't quite answer my question. You'll be a better listener. So it is really such a gift to be with you because of your audience and the impact that I hope this has, but also for people to recognize that just by design, the human aspect of us is built to be in conflict, to create resistance. And it's a very detrimental, disease-ridden approach to being human. It denies our vitality. It cuts off our aliveness. The world doesn't need Aubrey Marcus to do more shit for it. It doesn't. What the world is desperately craving is a human being who embodies the essence of love and peace of self. So you just sitting with me, it just gave me tingles. You sitting with me in the last 5 minutes, I would assert, is more profound and palpable and powerful, and the impact that you just made compared to 2 decades of you striving to do something externally that might make people's lives better. Because energetically, the resonance of what you just embodied, and that will take practice to live from, is what we crave as a species. Is a man, particularly a white man, who is not coming from the energy of oppression, judgment, self-loathing, that then is being met with the defiance of anger and frustration and control, but rather transcends all of that and comes from a place of self-acceptance, of humanity, of kindness, of gentleness to self, of love and unity with self and other. That is the precursor to an entirely different type of human and consequently an entirely different society.
Amen.
I'm out.
The proverbial mic has been dropped.